Cadet Sushnata Mukherjee, roll number 9531, DMET class of 2021 to 2025, would like to thank you for your presence today in this insightful session. It is with great enthusiasm that I welcome you to the 35th session of DMET Samvaad. Today, we gather under the banner of Sailing into Sustainability, Crew Performance Matrices in the Digital Age of Shipping, a theme that resonates deeply with the evolving landscape of maritime operations worldwide.
Good afternoon. I am Cadet R.K. Vaishya, roll number 9322, DMET class of 2021-2025, and today's co-host. DMET Samvaad is a series of webinars that upholds the current issues and trends of both maritime and non-maritime sectors, establishing a strong bond between the esteemed and experienced alumni with the curious present-day cadets. This initiative of Sri Harsh Sinha sir and Sri Sachin Kumar Mahato sir, with the guidance and mentorship of Associate Professor Sri Ishwara Kishore sir, DMET Samvad over time has grown to greater heights and continues to advance even further.
Talking about the modern era, which is defined by rapid technological advancements, the maritime industry finds itself at a crossroads of opportunity and responsibility. The integration of digital technologies is not only reshaping operational efficiencies, but also redefining the benchmarks for crew performance matrices. This webinar serves as a platform to explore how these advancements are steering us towards sustainable practices while optimizing crew management strategies. As we navigate through this session, we will delve into innovative approaches and practical insights that promise to elevate standards in the digital age of shipping. Now, I would request Associate Professor Sri Ishwara Arun Kishore Sir, DMG class of 1997 to 2001 Sir, to give today's welcome address.
I request Sri Ishwara Kishore sir to give today's welcome address, sir.
Yeah, am I audible and am I visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Very good afternoon, respected Atul sir, Senior Director at BSM, and the dear cadets of DMET Samvaad and the DMET Club. Thank you very much for the first session of the DMET Samvaad on the DMET Club Gateway. Sir, the cadets have very clearly introduced actually what is the purpose of this particular DMET Samvaad. It started in 2019 and 20 actually primarily due to COVID, when the cadets were confined to their homes, and the only way of interaction was online. So during that time, we realized the potential of the reach and the ability to connect with alumni who are positioned at various parts of the globe very conveniently. And with a motto that like water which flows from the higher elevation to the lower elevation, the motto is structured very meaningfully that the cadets should be able to get the best guidance from the alumni wherever they are located, and the guidance will flow to the campus and the cadets who are the future generation of the maritime experts. With this motive, actually, we have been conducting regular webinars. DMET alumni of Singapore was quite supportive for the initiatives. And when Pratik and others have actually showcased that DMET Club is one place where we are trying to amalgamate all the alumni and the activities, because the reach is getting better, the organization is getting better, and also we are all DMET alumni of finally. So it is better to work with more in numbers and make a bigger impact. So with this particular thought process, we have joined hands with the DMET Club, and this is the first session on DMET Club by DMET Samvaad. So this is the gist of it, sir, and the space is for you. Please take the center stage, sir, and enlighten us with your expert talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for today's welcome address. Before moving further, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker for the session, Mr. Atul Ojha, sir, DMET class 1984 to 88, who is currently serving as the Senior Director of Bernard Schulte Shipmanagement. Mr. Ojha has extensive experience as a Senior Superintendent, Fleet Manager, and Fleet Director, specializing in gas and chemical tankers. He has worked in this industry for numerous years and brings a wealth of experience from his tenure in esteemed companies such as the Great Eastern Shipping, British Petroleum, Anglo Eastern, and Mitsui O.S. Lines. His expertise has allowed him to closely observe and adapt to evolving dynamics of the maritime sector. Today, his expertise stands as a beacon of wisdom for our session. We will invite our keynote speaker, Mr. Atul Ojha, sir, to enlighten on today's agenda. Please, sir, the stage is all yours. Uh, Welcome, Atul Ojha, sir. I think there has been some connection issue. Excuse me. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible, Ankit.
Sir, if you could please come on screen and enlighten us on today's agenda.
Actually, what is happening? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, please.
Some technical glitch. Looks like the host was not allowing me to enter the. Okay. So very briefly, thank you for the invitation. And can you hear me? Everybody can hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible, loud and clear.
So thanks a lot for inviting, and it's a very good idea to connect with the place from where we have passed out. Just a small correction that I'm 1983-87 pass out. So looks like from wherever you got the data is a bit, so you can correct it. And so you've already given my rundown on, we sailed in Great Eastern and Anglo Eastern. It used to be called Denham's, which was later taken over by Anglo Eastern. And then we joined ashore with the company called V Ships, and then gradually moved on to Bernard Schulte Shipmanagement in 2004. So worked in various ranks, currently working as a senior director in operations at BSM Singapore, mostly related with technical and operational management of the vessels. So that is a basic profile. And I spoke to Mr. Raghav, who was corresponding with me about the today's session, and he gave me, there was a brief talk. He was telling me that the cadets will be very interested to know what should be the future in the digital age of shipping in the next 5 years, 10 years, what all changes are going to happen. So I have a very brief presentation, which I have made with the help of some of my colleagues. And if you don't mind, then we can start with the presentation.
Yes, sir. Start.
Okay. So can you see?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Let me just try to make it full page. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going to deal with the subject of crew performance and how do we prepare the marine engineers in the digital age of shipping, right? So as you know that shipping is evolving. So, I mean, traditionally, when we joined ships after passing out from DMET, was a basic, I mean, the engineers are basically in the engine room, and the engine room is comprising of main engine, generators, and various other machinery supporting the operational ability of the main engine and generators. So, power generation, electrical power generation, propulsion. But gradually, as we moved out and when we came ashore, there are a lot of digitalization happening in the shipping, and all the things which was done by paper earlier. Like when I was a new superintendent out of ships, I mean, when we went on the ships, we were mostly filling forms for everything. Or so it was all papers. You fill up the forms, and the forms are then sent to the office by courier. This practice continued for a fairly long time. When I came ashore, also similar practice was there. But roughly around, I can say around 2005 or so, we saw that all the forms are being digitalized, and the monthly mail packet which comes from the ship to the office is now coming by email. So, all the monthly mails and a lot of couriers which used to come from the vessel stopped, and it became only emails and various data and forms coming in the form of Microsoft Word and Excel and PDF files. Gradually, we moved beyond that, and now there are systems where we are able to see exactly what are the performance of the equipments installed on the ship. So, things are changing very rapidly, and when a chief engineer on a ship fills up a form, we are able to see it through the computer systems. So we have come a long way from filling up paper forms to the forms being digitalized, and then now we are able to see a lot of things real time. So going forward, we can see that the future is heading towards real-time technology, and the data, there's a big focus on data, the quality of data, how efficiently the data can be transferred from the ship to shore, and then how do you use the data further for the smooth operation of the ships. So this is a big change, and while this big change is happening, side by side, as you know that there are a lot of the global warming and climate change is another big issue which is rampant and being dealt with all along the industry. I mean, it has become political also. So as you know that all the big leaders talk about global warming and climate change. So it has come into shipping also. So shipping also has to play a part to reduce the emissions in order to comply with the United Nations goal of capping the the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees. So going forward, in the engineering side, the two things which will be very important is what kind of fuel you will use to reduce the emissions, basically carbon emissions, and how you will digitalize and use the real-time data. So Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, all these things are going to play a very big role. So in summary, what we are trying to focus that how we can prepare the cadets or engineers who are working and doing studies and hoping to come and work on ships to use all this information and education. So obviously, we cannot start all these things straight away when you come on the vessel. So our philosophy or thought process is that at some stage, the engineering colleges and especially DMET, how our cadets can and our management of DMET can introduce all these courses and do some changes in the curriculum, do some changes in the training, so that when the cadets are coming out of DMET, they are very well versed and much more informed to meet the new demands of the industry. So we are going to today touch base on this topic of the seafarers. Very briefly, we'll see what is the number of seafarers around the world, then in India, and then what is the forecasting for the future. We are going to touch base very little on the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and other technologies being discussed. Also about alternative fuels, and then about the competency and performance of the crew, and what we think should be done at the college level to make changes in the curriculum so that our future engineers are very well versed with the new systems and they can perform better. So here you can see this is don't try to break your head too much with all these graphs. These are quite technical. These kind of information we are using in our office, and various other shipping companies are using this data. These are all coming from the research of various research companies who do data management on crewing side. So what you can see here is, how many number of ratings and officers are presently working on vessels, and the data is from 2017 up to end of 2023. It shows you how much percentage changes in the officers and rating side. There was a slight dip during the COVID time, but now it is picking up. But still, we have some issues because of the war in Ukraine and Russia. Because Ukraine and Russia also, they provide a lot of crew and officers for the shipping. So there is some restriction, and there are some problems to engage people from that part of the world. So there is some kind of drop. These are the seafarers numbers from India. Okay, I've got both data for deck side and marine engineers, but you focus on the marine engineer side. As of now, you can see we have roughly existing, close to 50,000 marine engineers are provided from India, supplied from India, out of which roughly 5,000 plus, you can say roughly 6,000, 7,000 are the trainee marine engineers. And this is the graph showing the demand and supply. Last year, the requirement for global officers demand. It's not about India or any other country, and also the engineers and deck officers are all combined together. It is clearly showing you that roughly the 650,000 deck and engine officers were employed or available to join ships, and the demand was roughly more than 700,000. So there was a shortfall of roughly 60,000 staff, deck and engine combined together. So you can say roughly a shortfall of 30,000 engineers. If you take roughly 50-50, it is 30,000 engineers are running short, we think that going forward till 2028 or 2030, this number will increase slightly, but it's not a very big increase. The data shows roughly 60,000 going up to roughly 70,000 up to 2028. That is what is people are thinking that in the next 5 years, the demand will increase slightly. So the shortfall will always remain. So, which is a partly good news for all you people, that there will be jobs always. But of course, we need to pay extra attention and improve the skill set in the areas where the future is, and that's what makes a difference between a top ranking institute and an average institute which is just churning out people and providing degrees. So we come to the age of digital shipping. So I'm sure everybody is hearing. We can take the questions and all later after the end of the presentation. But is everybody able to hear clearly, or are there any concerns?
No, sir. You're clearly audible.
Okay, all is well. So just very briefly touching on the Internet of Things in the marine engineering. When you will come on ships, you will find, or as of now in your day-to-day jobs, you must be seeing that there are a lot of sensors being installed. One of the you have sensors in the car, and you have sensors in the aircrafts, which are continuously relaying data to the shore. So likewise, the technology is developing in such a manner that instead of people going and taking down the readings on a machinery, there are a lot of different kind of sensors being fitted on the machinery and equipments, and the data is being continuously relayed real time to the offices or to the concerned people who are monitoring the performance of the equipment. I mean, one of the basic things at shore, if you have seen, is a CCTV camera. You know how a CCTV camera is monitoring a lot of places, and some CCTV cameras are more advanced type. They are able to do face recognition and so many things, and the police is using it for crime detection and prevention. So same thing in the marine industry. We have sensors being installed on the engines and other important machineries, and the data is continuously fed back to the office where the people are analyzing the data, and they are able to guide the crew on board in a timely and much faster manner and a more effective manner. So going forward, this thing is going to make a big impact on the marine engineering, and for the marine engineers, it is important that apart from knowing the traditional marine engineering, which we all have been reading since the time the college has started, we have to do a little bit of diversion and also spend some time to study about how these sensors work, how the information is relayed from the ship to shore, and then some amount of data analytics, what technology is used, how the data is used, how it is helping in making decision making. All these things are becoming much more critical over the time. So as you can see on this right hand side, we have a small drawing for everybody to see that even on the cargo side, we have got refrigerated containers, and the containers are fitted with sensors nowadays, and the people who are moving the containers are able to know where is my container, what is the temperature of my cargo in the container. Suppose if it is a refrigerated container, it's supposed to keep the bananas at 5 degrees, then the people who are transporting the banana and the concerned guys, they all know what it is. And many, many years back, the same thing was being recorded by the crew on board and, transmitted through emails or by post ashore. So you can see that by this kind of technology, there is bound for performance to improve. I mean, gone are the days where you can make any story about how the container refrigeration system was working. Now it is very simple. Everybody ashore can monitor. Same thing is happening with so many other equipments fitted on board. And of course, this technology costs money. But as we move forward and the requirements and everybody is catching up with it, so you cannot sit back and keep using the old things. You will be out of market. It is something like what happened to the Nokia phone. If you think that Nokia phone was very good 30 years back, and you can use the same technology and keep working and people will keep buying you, it is not going to happen. And same thing is in the shipping. In the shipping, if you are not innovating, if you are not catching up with new technologies which are available in the market, and you just want to stay the traditional old horse, then your ship is not required. And same thing is with the people. So with all this kind of things happening, the skill set has to change. So we have to get into learning what is data analytics, that is cyber security. Like as you know, all the computers are now fitted with malware, preventive softwares, some kind of hardware locks. So all these kind of things we have to somehow see how we can include this in the curriculum, which will enhance our working knowledge when we step from the shore to the ship. I believe everybody is quite familiar with what is happening around with the artificial intelligence. One of the most basic ones which you all use in day-to-day time, I'm sure you guys must be also using, is the Chat GPT. And so you can see how much difference these kind of basic technologies are making. And it is just a stepping stone. As we move forward, the artificial intelligence will get into too many things. And this is where the knowledge and understanding of artificial intelligence at the education level is becoming very important. As I was telling you that on the ships also, they install CCTV cameras on the deck, engine room, and so many other places where it can be installed without affecting the privacy of persons. And then, all this data is being transmitted ashore. And at shoreside, the people who are expert in artificial intelligence and the applications are using it to find the behavior of personnel, picking up on items and suggesting to the crew where they can work differently, where they can make a change to make the ship a safer place to work for. Same thing is happening in navigation, same thing is happening in engine. All the data of engine which is coming ashore can be analyzed using AI ashore, and it can give corrective actions very quickly and very accurately. Otherwise, the human beings, we cannot analyze so much of huge data from the ship. So on the ship, one of the basic data which is coming ashore is something called the noon report. Every noon, the deck side officers and the engine side engineers are recording all the data of engine as well as sea condition, wind condition, which in turn helps for the crew to take a decision how to operate the engine, how to operate the vessel, so that the vessel can work smoothly go faster, burn less fuel, and be more economical and efficient in operations. So all these things now can be analyzed very quickly ashore and in a more effective manner by using artificial intelligence. So we think that the present marine engineers should get opportunity to learn about artificial intelligence and get all the basics and a little bit of intermediate kind of knowledge, so that when they come on board, they are able to participate in much more effective manner, knowing all the pros and cons of this technology. The other thing which is going to affect you guys a lot will be the use of alternative fuels. I am sure that you have had a lot of sessions about decarbonization in shipping earlier. So we don't want to spend too much time on these slides, but still it plays a very important role in how your curriculum and how your study system and requirements will be focused in the future. So without going into the science of how this is achieved, but what we have to understand is that the normal fuels which is being used on board, or I mean the automobile industry is also very similar, and you can see that nowadays a lot of electric cars are coming. Hybrid cars were already there for a fairly long amount of time. So you can see that the fossil fuels, I mean the petrol and diesel, is being gradually phased out. It will, of course it will take a much longer time, and similar kind of thing will happen on the ships. But phasing out is simple to talk, but what is going to replace is quite important. So the replacement fuel, or the so-called alternative fuels, is not something which we can produce just like that. A lot of research and development and cost is going into this aspect. And more or less, when you guys will come ashore and start working on ships, you will find you may have to work on ships which are using ammonia as a fuel, and maybe in future hydrogen. So you will see a lot of changes. So if you are studying internal combustion engines now, of course it is important to know all the basics, but together with it, we have to also study how the gas burning engines and the new fuel engines will operate or work. At least the basics we have to study. So because this is going to be the future. So I mean, we can't close our horizon of studies only to internal combustion engines or boilers. We have to think beyond it, and this is the area where you guys have to spend more time, and even our maritime industry and the training centers, as well as the top management in the education system, will have to think about how to implement these subjects into the course curriculum. Environmental regulations, as you know, emissions, this is becoming so crucial because every emission is being measured now, and there already you must be hearing about tax systems. So EU countries are already implementing tax on emissions. Gradually this thing will spread all around the world. So the measurement of emission, the reduction of emission, it's a vast topic. And so, but this topic is all clubbed together. It is clubbed together with what kind of fuel will be used in the ship in the future. So we highly recommend that this subject should get a lot of importance in the future course curriculum and, and trainings across various institutes, and we sincerely think that DMET will put a lot of focus on this. We can share the presentation with you later, but these are all certain amount of ideas which you must be familiar with, how to lower the fuel, how to lower the consumption of fuel, which is about how you maintain the condition of your hull, your condition of the engine and weather condition, how do you operate the ship, I mean the speed of the vessel. It's like, when you drive your car, whether you're driving at equal speed or if you're trying to accelerate very fast and trying to drive your car very fast outside the eco zone, then you spend more fuel. So ships and engines are, the behavior is quite similar, and so all these good practices are employed on the vessels to reduce the consumption. These are all a lot of new technologies which are coming in, and we also are promoting that DMET should implement subjects like emissions and green technology, and what is going to power the ships in the future. So apart from the fuel, how solar like sails and things like improved hull paints, there are different kind of changes being done in the rudder and propeller. We have, how do we use solar cells, and there are so many other things which are, you can say, apart from the traditional propulsion systems which are running the vessels, what are the other items being added on the ship which is participating in the vessel movement and improving the efficiency and reducing the cost of fuel or emissions. So this is a whole complete package under the ESG umbrella. The alternative fuels being used, what are the new technologies which are being implemented on board ships to make the ship more efficient and reduce the cost, reduce the emissions and the consumption and the cost of fuel being used. So, this is another important chapter which will be very key to the cadets. So digitalization, that means all this use of AI, use of IoT, and the new technologies which are going to reduce the consumption of fuel or bring in some kind of new fuel. This is going to be the key going forward. So as of now, what we are seeing is, when we assess the marine engineers, we are using examinations or various online assessments. We check what is the experience at sea, what kind of license you have, where have you passed your engineering, and what kind of licenses you have. So all this basic things are taken into consideration when we are using or employing the seafarers ashore. But we are quite sure that maybe in the next 5 to 10 years time, we may start having simulator based assessments. We can have more practical and advanced kind of online systems for analyzing the competence of the engineers. Then basically checking what is the awareness level of digital awareness, how good is your digital awareness, how good is your emission knowledge of emission, awareness in emission controls, energy saving devices. So the way we check out a candidate or analyze a candidate, evaluate a candidate in the future, for engineering employment on board may change drastically. And of course, we cannot run away from the facts that soft skill development has always been there, but we think that it requires a lot of focus now. With so much of data and so much of information available, how well you can communicate, and how well you can adapt to so many things, and so much of information and systems available will be a very key task. It's not only like 7-8 things which used to be there earlier. Now this thing is just multiplying very rapidly, and the good engineers will need to adapt to the rapid changes which are happening in the industry, and those changes will continue to happen even when you will go on board. So I mean, it's not that when you go on board the technologies will hang around like that. I believe the technologies are now rapidly changing, much rapidly than it used to happen earlier. So every 3 to 5 years you'll find changes and you have to adapt. Future performance evaluation, that's what we were trying to bring to your attention, that in future, look, safety is always there. Safety awareness is the top end item, but here we are dealing with our subject is what are the main changes which are going to happen in the future, and when you guys are in DMET and about to pass out, about to go on ship, what kind of skill set, what kind of things you must focus more so that you are different from others. I mean, that is what we are focusing on, and that is what is our goal, to make the DMET engineers more relevant to the future. And so the digital awareness, environmental awareness, soft skills, and this ethical decision making, because as you know that these things exist in shore also. How people are interacting when you're going to different offices to get your jobs done. Similar kind of things are happening on the ship. When the ship calls ports and you're dealing with a lot of people ashore, you're dealing with your own people on the vessels. How do you deal with them? So ethical policy, ethical decision making is very important. Ethics comes and plays a very big role. So we sincerely request our cadets to follow all these things and not fall into the trap of favoritism, nepotism, and so it has to be skill based and value based. So please focus on these items. Take your time off from the normal studies, whatever you do, and try to focus also on the digital awareness and how you can improve your knowledge on emissions and emission control, and so many other sustainable practices being introduced in shipping. I think a lot of data is available on the internet, but you need to find some time to go through all this. So through our cadets and through our institutes, DMET and the management of DMET, we are hoping that in the future, all this green fuel technology, digital literacy, and the data analytics, the use of simulators and emission monitoring systems, all those things, how we can try to inculcate in the course curriculum of DMET and various other training sessions, so that our cadets can very easily step ashore and adapt to the maritime industry which is prevalent now, and ready to change and go into the future. One of the other things which we are trying to stress is that how as a student you can collaborate with the industry. So please discuss with your professors and the management team in the college to check, is there any possibility of getting internships in the shore-based companies where you can go and see how the people are functioning in the office, and also the manufacturing and service industry related to shipping, including the software companies. If you need some help, we can also try to see how we can assist you, because it has to be done together. We will try to also collaborate with DMET and see how we can assist you guys. But these are the few, these are the key points which, if introduced in a very effective manner and right from the beginning when we start the courses, and of course it is an ongoing process, whenever you join the vessel also you have to keep learning and keep improving on these technologies and innovate, get good ideas. That's what makes a difference, I would say, from a highly rated DMET vis-a-vis if you are passing out from a normal place where the interaction between the alumni, the shore side and the college is not to the level what we are trying to achieve now with this DMET sessions, which I believe will be a regular feature, and a lot of knowledgeable people will come and share their wisdom and ensure that we churn out the best brains out of DMET. Of course, all this comes with a lot of challenges, and one of the most important challenges I have written in the bottom, which is cost and training. Nothing is free, as you all know. The cost of development of all these things what we are talking is actually one of the most challenging part, that why these things do not come so quickly in the shipping. You'll find in the airline industry or other industries ashore, a lot of things get implemented in the start, and one of the last places for it to come and become a permanent feature is shipping, because the shipping operations and business runs at very low margins. A business cannot sustain if it is not making any profit, and it is important that all the new developments happening should be able to generate sufficient amount of revenues for the shipping industry to offset the cost required to implement a new technology and train the cadets and engineers for the future. So, this is one of the important challenges. Everybody is facing this challenge, but yes, it does not mean that there is no training and no development. It is happening, and you will also get your D opportunity. At the short side, as you all know, that the AI has to still improve and get more matured in the shipping. As of now, the engagement of AI is not to that level, but it is increasing every day. The acceptance, the belief that these things will work for you is very important. So all these things clubbed together will make the new technologies work for you. At the end of the day, the new technology is going to make your life simpler, better, and more efficient and safer. So this is the main goal of having new systems in place. Data privacy, cyber security is also one of the major challenges in the European Union due to GDPR requirements. There's a lot of data privacy requirements in the EU countries and so many other countries, that a lot of things still cannot be done and pursued. So the legalities are, the legal challenges originating from data privacy is one of important roadblocks in the development of this IoT and AI in the shipping industry. So I would like to just conclude today's session from my side, saying that we need to focus on internet, IoT, and artificial intelligence, various kind of communication and digital applications being practiced, used, or being implemented on ships and at shore. Use of various kind of fuel oil emission and performance monitoring systems will be the new buzz thing in the near future. Believe me, at the moment you will come on board, these are the things you are going to hear, and you have to gear up. And the only way to gear up is to have some kind of course curriculum or some kind of education outside of the spectrum of the normal courses what you people are doing in every semester. Of course, these are the rest of the things. Risk management and soft skill development has always been there, but the style and the systems are changing. So we suggest that there should be some focus in the college to improve the knowledge of how to how to see the risk, how to analyze the risk, how we should be handling the risk. All these things plays a very important role. So that's all from me. Thank you very much for your time and patience to hear me out. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, my email is also here. If you think we are not being able to address your concerns, or if you have any questions beyond this session, you can always write to me. We will get back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I believe today's audience will draw inspiration from today's session and use it to shape their own future. Now I request all the senior audience to share some insights on today's topic. We will share with Sri Arun Kumar Singh, sir.
I believe there is some technical issue. Now, any audience, if they're having any questions, may raise their hand. We will take them up.
Can I ask one question, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So, Atul sir, I have a question. Recently, it's like 2 weeks ago, Uzbek got a permit to run their chief engineers remotely. So DNV just gave them permit to now. So what is that? What can be the impact? And that is due to AI only, if we believe. So
Sorry,
what is long-term impact? So
sorry, can you repeat what you were saying?
Yeah, the question is, Uzbek just announced that they have got a permit to allow chief engineers to work remotely on their latest vessels.
Okay.
So
I mean,
that is something the cadets should be worried about, because AI is taking over their jobs.
I think not necessarily. I mean, I suggest not to worry about all this, because this could be a part of the autonomous ship projects, where there is a plan. A lot of shipping companies are thinking that how to automate the shipping and run the ships with bare minimum crew or no crew. All these things are being worked upon, but as of now, this is only limited to the coastal river vessels, which is plying in Europe in the rivers, because there are a lot of other complications and regulatory requirements which will not let these things happen so quickly. But yes, I mean, it can be something for the future, but this future is a bit far away as of now. So
Like,
you don't
can we
have.
give a ballpark number, like how far away? Because RK will be a chief engineer 10 years down the line.
No,
so
I don't see it happening in the next 10, 15 years. It may happen in the coastal shipping, as I told you. There are a lot of small vessel movement in the rivers, in Europe. There, people are thinking that they should run ships, smaller vessels in the river between ports, which are two ports which are very close, and do some trial run and see whether we can run with very less crew or no crew. But till now, it is not a plan for ocean going ships, because ocean going vessels where you people will be normally employed is still, I mean, a fairly long way ago. I don't see it happening in the next 10, 15 years.
thanks for the answer, sir. Atharv Tripathi has a question we can ask.
Atharva, can you unmute yourself? Or you can write it down in the chat box as well.
You have to unmute. The moderator has to unmute the people who are asking the question. The host, Susnata, you have to unmute the people who want to ask the question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mute Arun, sir. So
Excuse me, sir. I'm Cadet Athar Tripathi, roll number 9876 from 2023 entry batch. The question which I would like to ask you is that as we are today working forward to bring innovations in marine engineering, or according to you, what are the key factors which we should take in account to ensure successful implementation? Like, how can we balance the cost of development against the potential long-term savings, and what are the other factors which we should take in account throughout the process?
See, the key points we have already discussed in the presentation is about the use of alternative fuels and the digitalization, how the shipping industry will be automated, and the use of digital systems as well as the new kind of fuel. So, I mean, all these things do cost money, but as we go forward, the changes, what is going to happen is that I don't know whether this is very relevant to your courses and subject, but still, just to give you a small outline, is the ship financing. When a ship is purchased, I mean, you can just apply the logic of buying a car. When you buy a car, you try to take a loan from a bank, and the bank is not going to. Does the bank ever ask you a question? What kind of car you are buying? What is the fuel you are going to burn in the car? So, I mean, if you ever bought a car or a two-wheeler, did your bank ever ask you a question like that? Or, but when you are going to order a ship or going to engage a vessel in some kind of charter, nowadays these kind of questions are coming. So why the questions are coming? Because everybody wants that the ship should be relevant to do business for the next 20 years. So if you are going to buy a ship which is not using new technology and new kind of systems and new kind of fuel, then that ship will not be relevant after 5 years, 10 years. And that not being relevant means they will not get cargo to load and go from A to B. And that's how the money is generated. The revenue from the ship is generated when you move the cargo from location A to location B. So the money required to move the cargo from location A to B this is going to go up. I mean, the society is going to share the cost basically. So if you want a better atmosphere, cleaner air, and so many other things which comes along with it, the cost is shared by the society. Society means, the people. The people have to shell in more money to move a particular cargo from A to B, and a certain amount of money from this is spent in research, development, and the new technologies. Does it make any sense to you? I believe it is quite similar in all industries, and shipping industry is also not far away.
Sir, what I wanted to point towards was that, like, if we are doing any kind of innovation, should we prioritize towards the cost of development or towards the long-term saving? Like, what matters more for a ship buyer? Or if there is any other factor which we should prioritize.
Okay, so in short, in the shipping industry, all the research and development is taking place for basically few things. First thing is to how to implement a new system for a long-term saving. That is important. Nobody is going to implement a system or technology or any new equipment on board just to, I mean, there has to be some way the ship owner will save cost and make the system more efficient. Anything which is being done at the research level for equipment or a system, it is to make the ship and the crew safer, reduce the cost of operation, and increase the profit. That is the main motto of everything. It could be that this thing gives you the return in 5 years. Sometimes the things can give you return in 10 years, but that depends upon what is the actual equipment or a system. And the second thing which is done is rule based. Now, as you know that due to climate change and global warming, these emission rules are becoming stricter by the day. So all the emission goals have been already declared. By 2030 you must do this, by 2035 you must do this, by 40 you must do this. So that the research and development is working very hard, you can say around the clock, to bring out new technology which is cost effective, easy to implement, and make the ships comply with the new rules and regulations by the timeline projected by the IMO. So these are the two things happening. I mean, and they are happening side by side.
Thank you for answering, sir. Next question.
Due to some technical glitches, Mr. Arun Kumar Singh sir is not able to unmute himself. He has mentioned this question in the chat box, which is the rapid expansion in shipping technology how is it being affected by the MTI, and how can the changes be brought about in the MTI? Sir, Mr. Atul Ojha sir, can you kindly shed some light on it?
What is MTI?
Maritime Training Institute, sir.
Aha, okay. So sorry, can you repeat again what you asked?
With the rapid expansion in the shipping technology, how the MTI can have curriculum to keep pace with it?
Yeah. So that's what my presentation was dealing with these facts, that we just very broadly outlined two important aspects. One is the ESG. I mean, under ESG umbrella, you have alternative fuels, you have green technology, and all this kind of new fuels coming, emission management, performance monitoring. So we have to either bring in a new subject focusing on environmental and environmental awareness and all environmental related, like environmental science. We can have a subject like called environmental science or environmental engineering, and under this environmental engineering or environmental sciences, we can try to deal with all the subjects related to shipping, which is like emission on board vessels, what causes emissions, what we should be doing to reduce emission, what are the energy saving devices we can install, how they work, how they are able to reduce the improve the efficiency and reduce the consumption of fuel. So these are the things which should be very briefly discussed or dealt with at the college level, because it's going to be such an important aspect when you start your service at sea or when you step ashore. So and same thing with digital applications, like IoT, artificial intelligence, data sciences, data analytics, and communication. These things were never so important for engineers before. Like but the time when we passed out from DMET and came to work on the ship, or when we left the ship and came ashore, till that time these things were not so relevant. But now it is becoming so relevant that even we have to spend time, after so many years of service at sea and ashore, we have to also devote a lot of time to study these things and learn about these things. We also go and attend a lot of seminars, and we also sit in these kind of conferences to hear out the experts' presentations and keep learning from them. So we feel that if these items are included in the curriculum of DMET, it is going to be very helpful for the cadets, by the time you guys pass out from the college and step ashore, step to work on the ships. So you will understand why is this being done, how it is being done. So you will have the required knowledge from before, rather than going on board and then struggling for it, and then you do 1 or 2 ships, you come ashore, then you earn some training, then you learn about it. So that's what we feel. I'm sorry that I do not have the idea what is the current course curriculum in DMET. Partly my mistake. Before this session I should have tried to contact somebody and figured out. But if it is there, it is very good. But if it is not there, we request that the DMET management will consider to see how they can modernize the course element to make it more relevant for the future.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Mr. Jignesh Chaudhary, sir, to ask his question. Sir, can you unmute yourself?
You have to ask to unmute. You have to give him
Sir,
permission.
he is been made the co-host.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
you're
yes.
audible.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So my question is more around digitalization and AI. You talked extensively about it. So right now most of the departments on in a shipping company, they work in silos, say manning or technical department and everything. But if we are to implement digitalization and AI, we would want a centralization of data. So what is a problem that a company like Bernard Schulte would want solved for them by an external agent, maybe using an ERP solutions, because companies so ever have moved from one solution to other solution. And with AI, definitely there's going to be another wave of change. So, what is a challenge that a Bernard Schulte type management company would want it solved by a different organization, someone with expertise in tech?
See, Jignesh, what is happening now is, of course, Bernard Schulte is a slightly larger outfit. The problem will be more to do with a smaller company, because a smaller company will try to do all these things by hiring a larger outfit or a third-party service provider. So, since you seem to have a fair amount of idea, like companies like Bernard Schulte, Anglo Eastern, or like bigger companies like Maersk, they have their own large IT companies. They have their own IT company within the company. So the IT company develops a software, and so they have huge servers and everything to collect all the data from the ships as well as the offices, and then they analyze the data, and they have various tools to analyze data and come up with what all specific instructions they have for the crew or for the guys in the office. But if you take a smaller company, the problem is that they have to compromise on their data. The data of that company will now go to a third-party service provider. So that's what I was trying to tell you, that in Europe, till now, you can see the AI and this anything to do with data is not doing so great as compared to Asia and other countries, simply because the EU GDPR data privacy requirements are very strict. So I give you one simple example. Every ship has got too many manuals. Every company has got too many manuals for technical operation manual, marine operation manual, safety manuals. All companies have this, whether it is Bernard Schulte, Maersk, or any company. Every company has got these manuals. Now, I may say that I will give these manuals to one in-house IT company which is using artificial intelligence to, have a very high-speed system. If I want to check something in the manual, very quickly, the manual will help me. Or so many forms are coming from various ships and various people in the office. So how to analyze the data of so many forms coming. If it is an in-house company, or if the company has got very strict data privacy rules and all that, you can use AI for analyzing the data. But the moment there is a problem where data can be compromised, then this risk is there. So I mean, these are the very big challenges, and that's why the AI is not still picked up to the extent it should have done. But as we move forward, there will be solutions. There will be stricter rules, how to manage the data, how to, for example, wherever you are based, you are making so many telephone calls and receiving calls. So that data, somebody has the data, right? So if that data is compromised, then, how are we going to give the data to somebody else to make analysis and all that? So similar kind of things are happening in the shipping side. But, these kind of things have to mature. So all these small gaps, what we are finding, there is a planning or a process to use AI to do the performance appraisals. Performance appraisal of the crew, performance appraisal of the people in the office. You can implement artificial intelligence there too. But once again, the management of data and how to keep the data very private, these are all the challenges what the industry is facing.
That definitely answers my
If you see Bernard Schulte, not that I'm marketing Bernard Schulte, because I'm working here for the last 21 years. Bernard Schulte has got a very big in-house company called Marriapps. Now this company is based in Cochin, and they are fairly big. By the size, they have around 1,000 employees. And a couple of years back, they purchased one AI company. They purchased one startup involved with artificial intelligence. And now this team, which is already in the team of our IT company, they are already applying artificial intelligence in too many things to try. But of course, the technology is very new and not so matured, but at least it is heading in the right direction.
Definitely. So that answers my questions, and gives a very positive view for the future. And to add to that, sir, I had one other follow-up question on this. So we talked about training and you know cadets today or engineers today adapting to newer systems, new technologies, and IT has been one of them. So, in terms of using these systems, say in digitalization, AI, or analyzing the data, does the onus lie in the office or on the engineers who are on board in the future? What do you think?
No, artificial intelligence, is mostly done ashore. As of now, the people who are, the crew, the importance of the crew is that if they know and understand the systems well, they will focus how to make the quality of data. The data quality is very important. Like if I have to report a seawater temperature and I don't care about it, I just write whatever was there 1 week back. Like for example, if today the the temperature in Singapore is 28 degrees, but I write 34 degrees. So for example, if I'm running, if I'm working in the engine room, I have to record a particular data, but if I record it incorrectly, then the whole plot is lost. So that is why this Internet of Things is becoming more popular. They are trying to eliminate the human intervention and having the real-time data by having high quality sensors which will give a good quality data. So the importance of crew is to understand the systems so that they can manage the systems on the ship. The data is transmitted from the vessels ashore. The rest of the things will be done ashore. But we don't want to limit our people to be always forever working on the ship. At some stage, there will be some smart guy. He says that, okay, I want to be a team member ashore in this planning of containers or monitoring of containers or doing some performance evaluation. So, if he has a good overview, he will go and practice it on the ship. And then, at one stage, he comes ashore and then he manages it in a more holistic manner. So I believe that knowledge will be well used all the time. It may not be fully effective or implemented in the pockets where you are working, but as you grow up, it will be very helpful.
Thank you so much, sir. That answers my question.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable views. Due to time constraints, now we will be taking up one more question, which is by Cadet Pratyush Sharma. Cadet Pratyush Sharma, kindly unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Cadet Pratyush Sharma, roll number 9711, 2026 batch, sir. Sir, my question is, could you share an instance during your career where digital technologies notably affected crew productivity and safety, sir? And if so, were these effects positive or negative, sir?
Yeah, so it's very simple. In our work frame, we are using live sensors and we are getting the real-time data of engines coming to the office. So we are able to intervene, or we can say we are able to guide the crew very promptly when it comes to any engine related problems, because nowadays what is happening that we have got so many sensors fitted on board, and every time these sensors are relaying the data is coming to our office servers, where it is designed, or the software is working in such a manner that it is letting the engine performance, and if there is any major deviation or something is going wrong, it also alerts you. So we are using these alerts, and mostly at this stage we are using all these alerts and our own manual intervention to read this data to alert the ships, so that way we are able to prevent any major incidents happening, or if continuously some trouble is going on, it can it can affect the machinery to an extent that the machinery is unfit for use. So yeah, we are using all these kind of things already. These things are very much in use for a fairly long time, but it is just the technology is getting matured, and the alert and warning systems are being improved by virtue of improvement in the software. I mean, earlier the data is coming. What happens when the data comes? The data comes and gets into some place. Now, the second stage is that you can see the data. You log in, you see the data. And then at the third stage, there is something which is analyzing all the data and finding out where something is not right. Many times you can do it yourself, but sometimes you simply cannot do it yourself for everything, because you're one person doing so many other things. So the use of AI and similar technologies are helping you to provide you with alert and warning systems, which you can use to alert the vessel that, look, this is the area where something is going wrong, please check this, please do something. You can alert the vessels, and then the chief engineers or the captains on the ships will hear you out and implement those things, and you may prevent failures and major incidents being happening. Somehow or the other, everything is related to safety. I mean, if you have an engine problem, it can create an unsafe vessel. So if we are able to find out problems on time and fix them, we can prevent a lot of unsafe activities and make the ship more efficient.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful responses. Your valuable perspectives and experiences have enriched our discussion today. With approaching closure, I would request Cadet Prerna Ghosh to conclude today's session with a vote of thanks.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cadet Prerna Ghosh, roll number 9441 from the class of 2021-2025. As we draw to a close of this enriching session on sailing into sustainability pre-performance metrics in the digital age of shipping, I am filled with immense gratitude and a profound sense of fulfillment. This journey of learning and inspiration would not have been possible without the collective efforts of so many individuals. First and foremost, I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to our esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Atul Ojha, sir, DMET class of 1987. Sir, your knowledge, expertise, and passion have enlightened us and enriched our understanding profoundly. Your commitment to sharing insights with us is deeply appreciated, and we are incredibly grateful for your time and insights, sir.
Thank you very much.
I also want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Ishwar Arun Kisore, sir, DMET alumnus, class of 1997-2001, whose unparalleled support and guidance were instrumental in adding every star to the session. Your constant involvement and guidance with the Samvaad team ensured our success. Special Special thanks to Sri Harsh Sinha sir, DMET class of 2016-2020, and Sri Sachin Kumar Mathur sir, DMET class of 2016-2020 for initiating DMET Samvaad, and to the core committee and volunteers whose dedication and hard work ensure the smooth operation of this conference. Your efforts have been pivotal in making this event a resounding success, and we deeply appreciate your unwavering support. The noteworthy support extended by everyone for the successful sessions of DMET Samvaad includes Sachin Saurav sir, roll number 8464 from class of 2021. Mohammed Farhan Akhtar sir, roll number 8657. Kumar Sambhav sir, roll number 8647. Kartik Kesari sir, roll number 8640. Abhishek K. Sahi sir, roll number 8552 from class of 2020. Prashant Kumar sir, roll number 9154. Pratik Raj sir, roll number 9156. Radhika Kumari ma'am, roll number 9164. S. Alfred Trinity sir, roll number 9191. Saidi Datta sir, roll number 9200. Sayyid Umar Khalid sir, roll number 9247 from class of 2024. And then my batchmates include Cadet Anna DM, roll number 9311, Cadet Arkya Vesha, roll number 9322, Cadet Piyush Ahirwar, roll number 9430, me, Cadet Raghav Dhaka, roll number 9446, Cadet Rustam Raj, roll number 9466, Cadet Shushmita Mukherjee, roll number 9531, and Cadet Yash Mukherjee, roll number 954. Last but the most important, I would like to thank the juniors who have been working tirelessly to make today's session a success. Your hard work is truly inspirational, and we are grateful to have you in our team. To all the attendees, thank you for your active participation and engaging discussions. Your thoughtful contributions have made this conference a dynamic and enriching experience for everyone involved. Once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who contributed to making this session conference possible. Your dedication and contributions have made lasting impact on all of us, and we eagerly look forward for future opportunities of learning and collaboration. Best wishes to all. Thank you.
This brings us to the conclusion of today's DMET Samvaad session, which was highly riveting, and I am grateful that each one of us got to know the life experience and insights of Mr. Atul Ojha sir, who will help and guide the cadets not only in the maritime field, but rather in life. Before ending today's session, I would like to request the dignitaries to accept the breakout room invitation for a photography session.
Nata, create a breakout room, new breakout room, and invite everyone.
Yes, sir, I'm doing that.
Okay. And for everyone, and we won't be ending the meeting soon, so it will keep on continuing even after the guest leave. We'll have some discussions. So all the DMET club member, you can wait, and we'll just try to figure out few problems that we always do every Sunday. So we'll have after the breakout session, we'll continue with the tutorial meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Ojha sir. This is Prateek. I'm 2000 land pass out. Hardcore techie. So That was amazing session. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratik, and thank you everybody for the patience to hear me out. If you
Just
have any
initiate
further
the-
questions or anything, please contact me on the email ID given.
Let me know if you're facing any problems or not.
No, what I'm saying that, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you. Just
Yeah, so
creating a breakout room so that you can actually enter and have a photograph with the committee.
Okay.
Committee. Just give
Okay,
us-
no problem. I'm just hanging around here. No problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would need to permission if we can stop the live streaming right now for the session. The host.
Yes, sir. We can stop the live stream.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'm taking the host permission from Susnata to stop the live streaming.